How we doing? I hope you're ready to have some fun today. Through 8, we've been doing a lot of exercises and stuff like that, and now we're ready to have some fun. So I'm going to show you all the variations of both the C chord, the F chord, and the G chord, and we're just going to have fun with it today. So we're going to go from there and carry on. Okay, now with the C chord, we have the minor, and I want you, each one of these that I do, grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and you can start writing these down, or you can just stop your camera, either way, and write them down as we go. So here we go. C chord. Now remember, we went up 4 half steps for the third of the chord, then we went up 1.5 to the G. Now for the minor, that chord, the third of the chord is 1/2 step down. That's a minor. Third of the chord, half step down. Now, we also have a C diminished, which we've never talked about, I don't think, other than a quick mention. Now that is where the third and the fifth both go down 1/2 a tone. So the minor goes down to E flat, the diminished goes down to an E flat and an F sharp. That's a C diminished. The third and the fifth are lowered 1/2 a tone, making it a C diminished. Now, C chord, now we also have an augmented chord, which means the fifth goes up 1/2 a tone. Okay? So we have the first, the third, the fifth, and up 1/2 a tone, which is 1/2 a step, up 1/2 a step, and that will be A flat. Just a note, A flat. Okay, now, remember we had the C6, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 3, 5, there's the 6 right there. So that's the 6. We add the 6 up here, number 6. Now if we go up one more step, we have a C major 7th. C major 7th is just up the 7th. That's step 7. That's a C major 7th. Now, for a regular C 7th, where you just see C with a little 7 next to it, that's here. It goes down, you go from your major down 1/2 step to, let's see, how can I do this way? Okay, so you can see it better. You go, there's a 5th, there's a 6th, there's a 7th. Now that's the major 7th. We want just a regular plain 7. We go down 1/2 a step to B flat. That's the 7th. Okay. Major 7th is actually the 7th key, and down 1/2 a step is B flat, just the regular 7th. Now the 8th key is C, and the 9th key is the 9th of the chord. So all those that I've just showed you is basically probably 95, 96% of all the variations that you're going to get on each chord. And of course, we could go on up and they get into going the 13th and stuff like that, sometimes the 14th. But you'll see it's actually a repetition of what we have down here. It's just it's thrown up here. So I'm not going to talk about those. We don't have to get too confused here. Now, remember I told you from the beginning that we could play all kinds of notes except for just a couple or one, because it's related to C, or it's related to whatever we're playing. So, in other words, right now we just covered all these keys. Okay? We covered all those. But see, we have the major in there, which makes a little bit of a discord, just slightly, but it's for effect. And we still get that same effect. But we're playing all of these notes. So we can play whatever we want to in there, as long as we don't sit, maybe like here, if we end a song, we just make it a major seventh. If we want to go higher and carry it up to the next chord, we go to a seventh regular. Then we go down to another one, say. Anyway, but what I'm getting at is that we've got all these notes, and I'll show you what I mean. We can play all of these notes. All those notes by using the chord C. So that means that you can start playing. Just take all those variations of the C chord and start doing stuff with it. And you can just start taking all those notes that you've seen and you can start changing things. In other words, here's where our root is. Our root is C. We're coming up to the third, we're coming up to the fifth, and all these variations are going above it, see? But we can do different things. Like, we know that we're going up here to the ninth. We also know we have an E in that, an E and a G and a regular seventh, so listen to this tone. Kind of neat, huh? Then we go down to the minor of that. Whoops, sorry. Then we go down to the ninth again. Pretty, isn't it? And now we'll go back to the C's. Okay? Or we could do this. And if you notice that you could just play something simple. Now you want to end it. So you hit this one, for instance, and you hit the C, and then you do a glance off, and then end it. See, that's pretty, and you hear that all the time. And so what the glances are is either, like in this case, we're just doing a diminished, like a quick one. See? And it's good for blues, too. You can do all that stuff. So that's in the key of C. C. Now, we're going to go up to the F chord. Same thing. All those different variances. Now I'm going to cover it again. C minor, C diminished, C augmented, fifth. Now we're going to play the sixth. Now the seventh regular, the seventh major, the C octave, and then the ninth. Now we can play that this way. If your hand's long enough to stretch, that's fine. A lot of people have smaller hands, and so it's a little harder to do it. I find that I have to lay my hand down. My hands aren't real small, but I have to lay my hand over the edge a little bit so I can catch underneath each one. You know, we have to get creative a little bit sometimes. Okay, there's your ninth, and you might add something to it, or whatever. Whatever you want to do. And you can almost, you can write a song with almost just one chord if you wanted to. Okay, let's go up to the F now. Now the F, you've got the first, the third, and the fifth, the same as before. 4, 1.5. Okay. Now we have the minor, which is the A flat for the F chord. A minor is F flat, down 1/2 tone. Now we can go up to the we can do the diminished now. Okay, and the diminished is the third and the fifth coming down 1/2 tone. So that puts this on the B and this on the there, see? So we have A flat and B is the diminished. Now the augmented is bringing the fifth up. Okay, and then the sixth of that is the D. Okay. The seventh is an E flat. It's probably hard to see it, but let's see. It's right here. E flat. And the major seventh is here. Okay. And the ninth is one step above the eighth, and the eighth is here, so it's here. So we have all of these notes that we can hit. See, we can hit all of those notes. So again, we've got the C. Now we go to the G chord. Now the minor on that is, again, we have the G with four steps up and then 1.5, and the third again is here on a B flat. I'm going to stop calling off the letters, because to some of you that starts getting confusing, because you're trying to remember the half step up or the half step down and also the note. So let's just stick with the half step. So the third goes down a half step, the diminished, the third and the fifth go down a half step. The augmented goes up a half step for the G. Okay, and the seventh is the F chord. And the eighth, of course, is a G, and the ninth is an A. Okay? Now here's the A here, but it doesn't sound good when you do it this way. It sounds okay, but it sounds better this way. Because what you can do with this is, if say you're playing an A up here and you want to add a C chord, a G to it in that range, you could play something below it. See? I'm just playing the variations to that chord, but bouncing off of this and that, all that's there. But I end up coming back to the chord. See? Hey, whatever you play. Coming back to that. So going back to the, you see where this is starting to be fun? So